I.S.U.P.K.
We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Only men prepare to die. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Never let their brothers die. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Only men prepare to die.
Jews of the Bible.
That's right.
The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on this sign are the true Jews of antiquity in the Bible. And this Bible's for you and only you. We're gonna prove to you today who Christ came for. Because like the priest was bringing out before me, Christ didn't come for everybody. Christ came for one nation of people. And it tells you all through the scriptures who Christ came for. You got a Bible that starts about talking about the Israelites, and for some reason, in the end of the Bible, the church likes to think that that the Bible's for every nation. It says nothing like that in this Bible. How are you going to get a Harry Potter book and start reading this about Harry Potter in the beginning, and then it turns into Terminator in the end? Makes no sense. Stop letting them play you for a fool, Israel. This is our book and nobody else's. We're going to tell you who Christ died for. Go ahead and give you Matthew 1:21, Baba Shah. Christ didn't die for everybody. The Christian church is going to tell you that he died for everybody. He died for the people that's killing us in the streets. He died for the cops that are being down on our necks. He died for the cops that are coming in our apartment shooting us while we eating ice cream. He didn't die for them. He did not die for them. Why do they need saving? They're doing pretty damn well from my point of view. Look at them. They on top of everything. We at the bottom. Why they need to be saved? What they need to be saved from? What they need to be saved from? There's no other nation other than the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, the Israelites of the Bible, that need salvation. We in the worst situation. You got our Latino brothers and sisters down on the border, locked up in cages. You got us, all of us, getting murdered by the police. You got our Native Indian brothers and sisters on reservations. You know what I'm saying? We're all in hell. The state of being known as hell. That's where we are right now. While all the other nations are in their heaven. Especially this oppressor. The devil the Bible speaks of. He's in his heaven. That man, woman, child, dog, and the devil, they in heaven right now. They're living fat off our backs, off the oppression they bestowed upon us. All Salaki. They living fat off the oppression they put on our back. We built America. Right. We built all this. I saw some brother on the chat on one of Commanding General Yahanna shows, and he, I don't even know if it was a brother. Somebody in the chat said, "Well, you're using a white man's cell phone, not knowing that a brother invented the microchips that go on the cell phone." Right. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff we invented. They just take. They're thieves. They steal our culture. They steal everything we create. They're thieves. They have no culture. Unless you consider eating blood and raw meat culture. Sleeping with your sister. Having sister uncles. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and read that for me when you got it.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. As you shall bring forward a son, and thou shalt call his name.
Salaki. Let's give you a little context. It said she's going to bring forth the son. Let's talk about Mary. And she's going to bring forth the son, who is Christ. All right? Just to give you a little context. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forward a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus. For he shall save his people.
All people.
For he shall save his people.
Asian people.
For he shall save his people
Go ahead.
from their sins.
Christ is going to save his people. His is a possessive pronoun. You'll see that all through the scriptures. When the Lord is telling you something. His people, my people. Christ is coming to save his people, not all people. No matter what the Christian church tells you. Y'all should already know your pastor's a nasty lying dog. Y'all should know that. Your best interest is not in your pastor. Your pastor doesn't have your best interest at heart. At all. You could tell that. Why you got all these molestations in the church? Because the pastor don't care. All they do is move pastors and priests from church to church to church to church. You go to the church for long enough, you're going to see you go through several pastors and wonder what happened. When I was in the world, I went to a church and one of the deacons, like he would fill in for the pastor when the pastor was out. He got arrested for robbing banks. You know what I'm saying? At least, as if you're not getting enough money in the pulpit. You know what I'm saying? All the church is about is lying, keeping you oppressed, getting your pockets, molesting your children. So why do you want to take the word of that? You wouldn't follow nobody else that's doing all that to your family, your people. We wouldn't do that. We wouldn't support that. But we want to support this church. Get this church all our money. The church has been lying to you, and they will continue to lie to you until you wake the hell up. Right. Where's the church now? Where's the church now? During this whole COVID thing, they haven't even come out, right? They might be peeking their little heads out now. But during the COVID thing, all the ones that can heal you, pray they can lay hands on you, where the hell were they then? Telling you that Christ died for everybody. That's who Christ died for. Read again, Baba Shah.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus. For he shall save his people.
He shall save his people. Matthew 10:5 and 10 and 5, Baba Shah. He shall save his people. Again, possessive pronoun. It's not talking about the whole earth. And so that should make you question John 3:16, where the pastor tells you, oh, he came to save the world. He sent the Most High sent Christ to save the world. Wait a minute. This seems like a contradiction, because we all know that Christ was a Jew. We all know he was an Israelite, so his people are Israelites. If I said I'm coming to save my people, I'm standing around my people. I'm here to save my people. I'm here to protest for my people, for the death of my people. Now, some Moabite or some Asian go out there in the street and get ran over by a bus, and the bus company is found at fault. I'm not out there protesting for that, because that's not my people. You can look at me and see that's not my people. My eyes too big. You got that?
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Salaki, the water. Christ, right here, I'm give you a little context on this as well. So you got the Christ sent forth the 12 prophets. He sent them forth and said, do not go on the way of the Gentile. He's giving them direct orders. He's telling them, don't go into the way of the Gentile. Now, Gentile, depending on the context, will tell you who it's talking about. You got Gentile, which means heathen nation, something other than Israel. And then you also got Gentile for referring to Israelites who are acting like Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying, hey, man, you acting childish. You a grown man. It doesn't mean you a child. You're acting childish, or you're being childish. You know what I'm saying? It's context to everything. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, read it again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. But go gather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, everybody.
But go gather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's who Christ commanded his people to do. Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Don't go over here to these people. Don't go to the Africans. Don't go to the Asians. Don't go to the Egyptians. Don't go to the Arabs. Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Go to the Israelites. That's who you need to wake up. That's who our people are. Salvation is for us and us strictly. It's not for everybody, no matter what the church says to you. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 8.
Drop that, give me Matthew 15:24, Bakusha. Again, the Christian church is built off lies. It's built off lies. Plenty of pastors know. They have these meetings where they get together in order to found their people. They got to figure out a way to keep you on the hook. Got to figure out a way to keep you on the hook. Keep you coming in paying that money. Keep paying that money. Keep paying that money. And you ever ask yourself, where's this money going to? You got this building fund that I've been paying into for the last 12 years. And we still in the same building, waving these raggedy ass paper fans around because the AC doesn't work. Where's this money for the building fund going to? You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, the money, they got all types of excuses about the money. Oh, well, the money's being held up right now. We gonna break ground next year. We got to get the thermometer up to this point before we can start using the money. And yet you see your pastor rolling around in all types of Bentleys, all types of Rolls Royces, Gator shoes on. You know what I'm saying? Just flashes all get out, Rolexes. But you got people in the church starving. You got people in the church catching buses to the church. You got people in the church can't afford to pay their light bill, can't eat. But the pastor's still collecting their money. And the pastor will be on their neck talking about, hey, I understand you can't eat right now, but any bit of money you get, 10% go to the church. And will make you feel the same. Some churches won't let you get in. They checking to make sure you pay tithes before you come into church. What kind of mess is that? But you care for your people, right? This is nothing new in the Christian church. It's nothing new. This is an ongoing thing. But we as a people have yet to learn that we need to separate ourselves from this Christian church. Where you're going to get the truth is only one place. One place, and that's the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yahanna. The Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge is the only place you're going to get the truth. This is where you're going to see your tithes do something. This is where you're going to see your tithes help you. Help your nation. Build a nation. Commanding General Yahanna helps all his people. I've seen people not even in the school get help. We got food programs. Atlanta, we got food programs for our people. We get out here and hand out clothes, toiletries. You know what I'm saying? And beyond that, we hand out the truth of this Bible, showing our people how to live, how to get out of this poverty, get out of this mess, this slavery, this captivity we're in. A lot of us like to think, oh, well, I'm not in captivity, I'm not in slavery, I do pretty good, you know what I'm saying? The white man got me a house. You know, I pay a high interest rate on it. I'm never gonna pay it off. That's why they call it a mortgage, because you're gonna be paying past your death. But a lot of people don't understand that. Think they living good. The property you own isn't even your property because you still pay taxes on it. Go ahead and stop paying taxes on it, see what they do to your property. The property you say you own. We got our people out here fighting over street corners. You're fighting over a street corner you don't even own.